Okay, this is my demonstration speech on how to trim a dog's toenails. This is my audience. This is my questioner. Questionee. All right. And this is Token. And this is how we trim a dog's toenails. Okay. So if you don't have somebody to help assist you with holding the animal, it is best to get the neck restraint because you don't want your face in the hand, or you don't want your face in their face in case any type of confrontation comes along. Other tools that you want at hand before you get ready are, of course, toenail trimmers, and cornstarch is a good thing to use. And you want to know why cornstarch is a good thing to use? Cornstarch is a good thing to use as a coagulant. It doesn't necessarily, what you need to do when you're using cornstarch is coagulate the bleeding in case you cut too close to the quick. A dog can bleed really badly if you cut them too close to the quick. Cornstarch will stop the bleeding where you can get a bandage and put a tight bandage on. So we're going to start. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go close. He has white toenails, so it shows the quick. So we're going to go right here, diagonal with the pad, and we're going to start trimming.
How close do you get to the quick?
You don't want to get too close to the quick, because if you get too close to the quick, that is the bleeding point. When you get too close to the quick, that's what makes them bleed.
So do you want a little bit of the black in between
Yes.
the white?
Yeah, you want a little bit of black in between. So when you're going here, as you can see, it's diagonal with the pad, but you can see the quick on his toenail here. So you're just going to trim right above that. And then you're going to move on to the next. Now this one is black. This is a little harder.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's a little harder to determine. So you just stay diagonal with the pad here. And you will trim just as you go along.
What if you do accidentally make them bleed?
If you do accidentally make them bleed, it's good to have a coagulant like cornstarch on hand because it will help stop the bleeding. If you go to a vet clinic, they have silver nitrate sticks, which is like it cauterizes, which is a lot better. But at home, cornstarch is the best next thing to
You
use.
just mix a little bit with water and...
You can. The best thing to do is to use it just as a powder form because you can push it right up into the pad while you're getting something to like put pressure on is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of like, pack it in there. Like as you're trying to get gauze or any type of thing to help stop bleeding.
How long does it usually take to stop bleeding?
It's not going to stop bleeding immediately. Even if you put the cornstarch on, it will still bleed. So you just need to apply pressure immediately. And a lot of people applying pressure is just a quick, hurry, let's apply pressure, let's move it and see if it's still bleeding.
Right.
That doesn't work. You need to keep applying pressure, 3 to 5 minutes at the most. And we just continue on. The dew claw is important to trim because that's the one that they chew at the most. Most animals have like to chew at their dew claws, so make sure that one's trimmed. Frequency with trimming toenails, I would definitely say 1 to 2 weeks at the most, and to keep them as short as possible. So in the back ones, what I do is I like to grab here with the top of my hand. I know this is hard to show me and the animal at the same time. I like to grab here so I still have where he can't reach around and try to bite me. And I just pick it up and I start trimming in the same manner. I go diagonal with the pad.
Do you ever file them if they're jagged and catch on like carpet?
Yes, that's a good question. You can file them. That is another good thing to have on hand, a filer. Especially with cats and stuff because they do catch on like bedspreads and things. Now I'm going to flip the patient in order to trim his other nails. That way I can get my hand up under his neck and do the same process for the other side. So I'm going to flip, and same thing. It's a little tricky if you're left or right-handed, but same thing. You still have control of his neck here. and you can still grab. And same thing, just go diagonal. And again, just trim diagonal with the paw. Sometimes this is a two-person job if you have a tough patient. If you have a tough patient, it's best to use 2 people that can hold your patient for you. But as Token, which is a very good patient, he is letting me do it on my own. Again, I am right-handed, so this is a little tough. But the dew claw again. And he has a variation of nails. He's got the white claws and he's got black claws. So, and it's funny because he has 1 black claw on each front feet. So those are the hardest to tell. And again, I'm going to pick up and I'm going to go to the back, but I'm going to do it this way so I still have control over his neck where he can't turn around and bite me. And I'm just going to trim diagonal with the nails.
So it goes pretty quick when they're still.
It does go very quick when they're still, yes. Yes, ma'am. And same thing, you can go back through, look at what you've missed. Another thing, if it's hard for you to hold them that way, you can grab them this way, do it this way. But then again, you still have the exception of him coming down and could bite you, which your face isn't at risk, but your hand and other things are at risk. So again, you just want to switch them to each 2 feet that you're doing at the time and make sure you have good control over their head. Because you are working down here and you don't want your face in that risk of getting bit. And like I said, another good thing to have on hand at all times is cornstarch. I have 2 bowls here to demonstrate because if you do need to use the cornstarch and it's hard for you to get it in your hands, which it is because it's a powdery form, then you'll want to put it in a bowl. And that way if you put it into the bowl, which I will demonstrate, it's much easier to get a dog's foot into a bowl than it is to hold a powder form and drop it in there gently. And it will coagulate it. And then you might have some powdery footballs, but at least you don't have a bloody patient at hand. And I hope that worked well as my demonstration speech. As for my questioner, Kelly, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope I asked enough questions.
You'll just push, go to the, just don't want our patient to fall off here.